Welcome back. Today we're going to repair a tyre puncture on my 2006 BMW E90 325i using a puncture repair kit. Stay with me. Before we get started, let me tell you a little story why I ended up having to repair the puncture myself. If you're not interested, feel free to skip ahead. I've linked the timestamp in the description below. So I needed to get somewhere, and just before I got into the car, I noticed that one of my tires is deflated. So I pulled out my compressor that I keep in the car at all times, put some air in the tire, thinking this might be because the car was sitting aside for quite some time. It could have been a clue that all other tires were perfectly fine, but let's move on. I drove for about 2 miles when the tire pressure monitoring system beeped.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
So I pulled over and I found the same tire deflated again. At this point I was quite certain that I had a puncture, so I searched for the nearest tire shop, inflated the tire once again and drove there. As I've mentioned previously, I carry a litre compressor in the car at all times. It's quite obvious that if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have been able to drive away from home, or even worse. If I had a puncture on a trip, I would have been stuck on the side of the roads, dependent on roadside recovery, a trailer or a spare wheel, which I don't have because I have a BMW. It doesn't come with a spare wheel. Some newer cars come with a puncture repair kit and a little compressor from the factory. Other cars come with run flat tires like BMWs, and those tend not to have puncture repair kits or spare wheels whatsoever. Who knows, you might end up buying a used car which doesn't have run flats, it doesn't have a puncture repair kit, it doesn't have a spare wheel, so you might want to consider buying a small compressor and a puncture repair kit to keep in your boot at all times in case of an emergency, a tire puncture, you know. I'll leave a link to all these in the description below. Right, so I drove to the shop and asked the guy to repair my tire, and the first question he asked is, what car is it? And I told him it's a BMW. So what the guy said was that he can't repair the puncture because all BMWs come with run flats, and they aren't allowed to repair run flat tires. I told him they're not run flats, but he said, no, they are run flats because it's a BMW. I know for a fact that I don't have run flats on my BMW because I bought them tires myself, for God's sake. But the guy kept going on and on and on and on and on that I have run flats, and he wanted me to buy a new tire and kept insisting he can't repair it because I have run flats. It made me so fucking angry that I told the guy to go fuck yourself and your shop. I would have had no problem whatsoever with him refusing to repair the tire if I had run flats. And I know it's not always possible to repair run flats, and it can sometimes prove to be dangerous to drive, and most tire shops in the UK at least, they're not allowed to repair run flat tires, but that's a topic for another day. If you'd like me to make a video about run flat tires, then feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, I decided to repair the puncture myself, which I did, so here we go. As you see, here's our puncture. I've marked it with some chalk, and if we have a closer look, there's a nail in there which we obviously need to remove first. But before we do that, it's very important that we de-inflate the tire, which I've already done. As you can see here, I have removed the valve as well. Now let's try and remove this fucker. Now, to repair a puncture, we need the puncture repair kit, which consists of these tools. You've got this to embiggen the hole, clean it out. You've got this to insert the puncture repair thread, and obviously you've got the threads as well. So let's put this in. Now from this point on, there's no turning back. What we need to do is take one of these repair strings and thread it through the inserting needle like that, and much halfway through the needle, and now we need to push it down through the tire 2/3 of the way through. When we pull it out, it will leave a loop on the inside similar to this, and that will prevent it from blowing out. If you don't push it down far enough, as soon as you inflate the tire, it will pop out. Just like that. And then with one swift motion, we need to pull this out very quickly. There we go. And obviously we need to cut off the excess string. And there we go, that's our puncture repaired. Let me put the valve in and inflate the tire. That's it for today. I hope you find this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then give it a thumbs down and let me know in the comments below why. I will do my best to reply to all your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. Take care, and I'll see you in a bit. Lander out.